We are just a few weeks away from the official start of summer, and it's going to feel like summer later this week.
With the sun beating down on us, there are a lot of options out there to protect yourself from those harmful rays. In this morning's Consumer Solutions, our Caroline Hicks is breaking down the best ways you can keep your family and you protected.
There's a lot of information at our fingertips, and not all of it helpful. You may be seeing recent videos from some social media influencers claiming sunscreen is not the answer, but health experts disagree. While the sun is a good source of vitamin D, doctors say, like anything, too much of it can be dangerous. According to the Skin Cancer Foundation, regular daily use of SPF 15 sunscreen can reduce your risk of developing cancer by 40 to 50%. The American Academy of Dermatology recommends using an SPF 30 or higher. The FDA also recommends reapplying at least every 2 hours or more often if you're swimming or sweating. You should also be sure to read your sunscreen label. Only products that pass the FDA's broad spectrum requirements and actually protect against UVA exposure can be labeled broad spectrum. SPF 30 blocks 97% of UVB rays. SPF 50 blocks 98%, and SPF 100 blocks 99%. With so many different types of sunscreen on the market, how can you choose the best fit for you and your children? Well, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, they recommend that parents do not use sunscreens with the chemical oxybenzone and opt for a mineral-based sunscreen. Adults wanting to avoid chemicals can also find mineral-based sunscreens. But according to Consumer Reports, they may not provide as much protection. As for deciding between a stick, lotion, or spray, experts say it's up to you. What's important is even coverage. I'm Caroline Hicks with your Consumer Solutions. Back to you.